Comedy Bronze forgot last week. Welcome to Comedy Bronze.
I'm Sean.
I'm Chris.
I forgot who I was for a moment.
Yeah, okay. It's way early. I just got up.
Yeah, well, it's not that early, but...
Oh my god, it's before 12. That's early for me.
Yeah, well, okay, fair enough. Especially when you're working at all lates like we are this week.
Yeah, I would honestly prefer to still be asleep, but I'm here. It's a sign of my dedication to the cause.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Please take over.
That's all right. So last week, well, this last week, Comic-Con happened. San Diego Comic-Con, specifically.
Yay!
Don't be like that. You know you want to go.
No, my jubilation was somewhat genuine.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of cool people there. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, I just remembered what I wanted to talk about for segment 3.
Okay, cool. Well, hold on to it. Sit on your hands. You can...
Yeah, okay, I'm sitting on them.
Good. All right.
Getting crotcheted.
There was a bunch of cool announcements for Comic-Con, for upcoming shows and movies.
Yeah, there are also a bunch of lame announcements.
Yep. Let's start off with the lame, Chris.
Lame. Okay, there's a new show. It's called Crazy Judge. Ron Perlman is a crazy judge, driven to vigilante justice over the death rape of his son-daughter.
It's called Hand of God.
It's called Crazy Judge.
It's called Hand of God, and his son is neither dead nor raped.
Someone got raped.
Oh.
There was a rape in that trailer. I watched it.
Okay. I don't remember
He's
that
mad
bit.
because rape.
Well, I thought he was also mad because his son shot himself.
Yeah, he's also mad because of that. I mean, look, he's a multifaceted character, Sean. He's mad for various reasons.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But on the upside, it's Ron Perlman.
I do like Ron Perlman.
Look, I will watch the first maybe 2 episodes of that show. So yeah, Chris's ramblings aside, that's pretty much the plot of the trailer. The Ron Perlman's character, whatever the fuck his name is, he's a judge, and he believes that his son's...
Judge John Deed.
Okay, cool. His son's spirit is communicating with him, and he's passing on messages from God.
And God wants him to beat up the bad guys.
Yeah.
But Ron Perlman's old and he can't do it himself, so he gets a strapping young buck to do it for him.
Yes, to knife people in a ditch.
Yeah.
That he
Diff-niching. Diff-niching.
I don't know if that's necessarily lame. It might just be a really shittily cut trailer, because it was a really shittily cut trailer.
It doesn't look great. I mean, I do like Ron Perlman. I've enjoyed all his movies, especially Dungeon Siege, In the Name of the King, directed by Uwe Boll.
I can honestly say I've never actually watched that film.
Neither have I. Neither has anyone. I'm not sure it even really exists. I liked him in what little of Sons of Anarchy I watched. I loved him as Slade in Teen Titans.
He's fantastic as Hellboy.
You have a mind problem for the Hellboy films.
Why do I have a mind problem?
I mean, you really like them.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, really liking things is evidence of a mind problem.
Ah, right, okay.
You like the Hellboy movies, is what I'm saying.
I do like the Hellboy movies. I do.
You know, when I saw the first one, I thought that was Ted Danson. That's not Ted Danson.
It's really
That's
not.
Ron Perlman.
It's really not. I can see why you would think that, because they are both, like, speaking as a human potato, they are both inherently ugly people.
Yeah, if you paint them red, they've got kind of the same forehead and eyes area.
Yeah, they definitely look like red apes, Chris. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Ron Perlman a little less is he's gotten older. He's got more like a cauliflower.
Like an old cauliflower, or...
No, like a cauliflower in the prime of his life, but, you know, not a person. A cauliflower.
Oh, so it's not a cauliflower that you look at and think, that's definitely going in the soup. It's a cauliflower that you think, man, I'm going to put some cheese on that and eat the shit out of it.
Yeah, if that's a thing you like to do to cauliflower.
What? You don't do that to cauliflower?
I don't do anything to cauliflower. I try to avoid cauliflower wherever possible.
Oh, it's good for your innards. Put hairs on your
thing
ass.
I like to make part of my life.
You don't want hairs on your ass?
So anyway, Cauliflower Perlman is going to stab a bad guy and pray to God, so...
Yeah, there's that. So that's Hand of God. That's out in November. What else was lame, Chris? Or was it pretty much just that?
That was the only one that Sean made me watch a bunch of trailers because
I collected the ones that actually interested me.
he collected some trailers and he made me watch them because in previous comedy bronzes, Sean has said, "I'm going to talk about this trailer for a thing," and I haven't seen it. And the conversation is Sean just saying, "And then this happened," and me going, "Yep, okay." So this time around, I watched all the trailers.
Yeah.
There was one called Out of the Badlands?
Into the
Badlands.
So that's an AMC original. I don't believe it's based on a previous IP.
With executive producer Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he's got his dirty pie fingers in it.
That one I thought looked really cool. I thought that trailer made amazing use of color. And I'm not kidding. No. It's because I just woke up and I sound sarcastic, but I'm being genuine.
Okay.
That show looks really nice and really distinctive, especially compared to all the other trailers that are in this lump.
So, what did you think of the broad story elements that were in the
it's
trailer?
like, it's a kung fu adventure story set in a post-apocalyptic shithole.
Yeah.
I really liked the look of it.
Okay.
And the sound of it, and the acting of it. And also the bit where the guy punched people. I liked that bit as well.
He did that. I don't know whether or not you noticed this, but I saw a lot of things that I actually like in martial arts films, which are long shots of action.
Yes, no, you're exactly right.
Where it looks like people are actually fighting rather than moving their arms twice and then resetting the camera.
Oh wow, it's good you brought that up because now I have an excuse to link to Tony Zhu's Every Frame a Painting episode on Jackie Chan.
Right.
In the show notes.
Right.
Which expertly boils down all the problems with modern, particularly Western martial arts / action films.
It's pretty much just Western style.
Yeah.
Like they're because it's easier and faster to do. They're adopting it more and more in the Eastern cinema, but it's predominantly from the West.
Anyway, Into the Badlands looks cool. I want to see a man with a sword and a punch.
Swords.
Of course, 2 swords.
Yeah. Because you're not swording hard enough with one.
It reminds me of something.
Well, there's a couple of scenes in there where I was just like, well, you can see where they drew inspiration from that film. Like that bit in the rain where where someone's obviously watched The Grandmaster.
Sure. Well, that giant gate from Hero.
Yes, there's that.
That's all I remember of Hero. There was a giant gate.
Yep. And China is very dusty.
China is mad dusty, even though it's not set in China.
No, it's not.
What was I going to say? Frantically Bingles. Fuck. Oh, yes. The cast of colourful bad guys reminds me of a Mad Max film.
Oh, yeah. What, the new one that I haven't seen yet?
Well, yeah, because that's the one I've seen.
Yeah.
But I understand the others also share that style of villain.
They do.
People with ridiculous names and colourful personalities in a post-apocalyptic hellhole.
Yeah. So that's out in November as well. Looks like November's going to be October. Big time for TV. Interesting TV.
Yeah, so Gringo the Badlands looks good to me.
Yeah, okay. The Man in the High Castle.
Okay, so The Man in the High Castle, adapted from a Philip K. Dick story.
Yes, which I have read. Have you?
No, I've not read The Man in the High Castle. I haven't actually read much Philip K. Dick. I've read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and I think that's it.
Okay. I need to lend you my copy, if I can find it.
I do understand that quite a lot of Western cinema over the last 50 years have been adaptations of Philip K. Dick stories.
Yeah, no, there's been a bunch.
Of varying degrees of quality.
You should have just kept going with the lisp. It was hilarious. Varying degrees of quality.
Varying degrees of quality.
Marriage.
Marriage. Marriage.
Love. Twoo. Love.
Love.
Yeah, what did you think of the trailer, though?
Look, it didn't immediately turn me off.
Right.
It did have... I sensed an undercurrent of extreme unpleasantness.
Well, I mean, it is about...
which is par for the course for a Philip K. Dick story.
Yeah, well, I mean, just to break it down for people who either haven't heard of it or...
Yeah, it's an alternate history where the Axis powers won World War II and now occupy America.
Yep, so Nazi Germany owns 2/3 of America and the other third is Japan. Imperial
Japan.
Yes. Yeah, they're still Imperial Japan. And it is a horribly great book.
So it's a full book? It's not just a short story?
No, it's a full book.
Full book.
Full book.
Philip K. Full book.
A full book for Philip K. Dick. I mean, none of his books are particularly lengthy. But,
Have you seen A Scanner Darkly?
No, I haven't, no.
That's an adaptation of Philip K. Dick work.
I know.
It's weird as shit.
The book was weird as shit.
Keanu Reeves is all whacked out on goofballs.
All right.
Robert Downey Jr. is in it before he was allowed to have his career back.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have much to say about The Man in the High Castle. It looks good, but there also isn't very much revealed in the trailer.
Which is kind of interesting and kind of not. It's interesting because most TV trailers are like, yeah, let's try and get as much about the first episode from the first season in that trailer.
Yeah, like that Supergirl trailer,
Exactly.
which is basically just a supercut version of the first couple of episodes.
Well, yeah, it goes for 7.5 minutes or whatever it was?
I have no idea.
It's a really lengthy trailer.
I have no idea, Sean.
But if anyone is interested, and you as well, Chris, the pilot is out there for viewing if you know where to look.
Oh, of Supergirl?
No, well, yes, of Supergirl, but
Or of The Man in the High Castle?
The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, I'm going to rate that based on nothing other than my own gut feelings and the fact that they had an American flag with a swastika on it.
Yep.
Worth a look out of 10.
Yep. One country under rule.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, Philip K. Dick knows how to write shit that really upsets people.
Yeah, well, he knew. He's dead now. Man,
yes.
Speaking of pilots and stuff, have you been keeping up with Mr. Robot?
No, I'm letting it build up so I can have a little marathon with it. I like to get 3 or 4 episodes in a go.
We're now up to episode 3.
Yes. Is it still good?
It's still good. Episode 2 had a really cool moment where
Yeah.
a thing was happening, and if you know anything about computer security, you'd be all like, oh, a thing's happening. But it looks innocuous until the end, and then it matters.
Oh.
And then I got to feel smart. So
And I do know how much you like to feel smart. But then again...
I love to feel smart.
But then again, who doesn't love feeling smart? If you don't like feeling smart, please write to us at thirdplacejoke at gmail.com.
Thirdplacejoke at gmail.com.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jim Carrey doesn't like feeling smart.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's because he stuck his dick in crazy.
Look, no. Jim Carrey is a grown adult, Sean. You can't blame his spouse for his ridiculous opinions.
Sure I can.
Jim Carrey thinks vaccines cause autism.
No, I think what he actually... what he tried to justify...
I think it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I think what he tried to justify it as is like, he doesn't think vaccines cause autism, he just doesn't like some of the ingredients in vaccines.
So either way, he's an idiot.
Yeah, it doesn't...
It's always kind of a bummer when someone you like and admire turns out to be a fuckwit.
Yeah, it does. It is a bummer. You know what else is not a bummer?
Sick segue, Sean.
Yep, thank you. I'm a professional, clearly. I definitely get paid for this. Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, when I saw that a few days ago because Mikey Newman put it up on his Twitter.
Yeah,
I thought it was a trailer for a film. I didn't realize it was a trailer for a series.
Yep, no, it's a TV show. Starting on Halloween.
Yeah, I think that looks super adorable.
Yeah, it looks. I love the Evil Dead, and I love Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi together. But I don't know if Sam Raimi's
so
involved
Raimi is actually working on it?
I don't know if Raimi's involved in it, to be honest.
I don't have a huge amount of affection for the Evil Dead. I've seen Army of Darkness and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I love Bruce Campbell, and anything that Bruce Campbell is in is at least worth a look.
Yeah. You know those people were Jewish, right?
Yeah. Well, no. I wish you'd told me that before I put up these dumb crosses.
Go and watch the trailer. It's basically just Bruce Campbell getting to be an aged Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, it's Ash is old and he's got to fight the dead.
Again.
It's super adorable.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm going to be watching the shit out of that show. I don't expect a lot story-wise because it's classic B cinema, but I expect...
Well, I mean, they gave us what we want, which is Bruce Campbell getting lots of Caro syrup sprayed all over his face.
Exactly. That is why I am watching that.
My favourite anecdote from the making of Evil Dead.
Oh, the car, or...?
No, not the car. The fake blood is Caro syrup, which is like molasses, basically.
Yeah.
A little bit thinner. And after a hard day of getting completely soaked in the stuff, Bruce took off his shirt, which is completely soaked in it, and decided to let it dry by the fire before washing it.
Oh, that's right.
And it hardened.
Didn't it shatter?
It may have shattered, but it turned into this solid lump of shirt and sugar.
Yeah. If you guys want an excellent biography to read Bruce Campbell's If Chins Could Kill.
Confessions of a B-grade actor.
Exactly. It's fantastic.
Or a B-movie actor.
And it gives you a lot of really cool insight to basically his life and basically what started Sam Raimi's career. And if you don't know who Sam Raimi is, he originally did all the Evil Dead films, but more recently, films that you will definitely have seen him direct were the original Spider-Man trilogy from the early 2000s.
And that went so well for everyone.
Yeah, like, he definitely didn't fucking care in that third film, and I don't think anyone else did either. But you know what else people didn't care about when they were directing the film? Was probably Batman versus Superman.
I was wondering when you're going to bring us back to that, and well timed, because there's not much time left of this segment.
No, there's not. But we've talked about Batman v Superman before, and they released a lengthier trailer at Comic-Con. Obviously, they have to, because the neckbeards are going to perspire if they don't. Perspire over everything.
Yeah, I guess. I like how you always kick off by insulting a large section of what might be our audience for any comic book.
Speaking as a fat potato with a neckbeard, I think I'm allowed.
Fair enough. So the trailer is, look, it's a lot better than the last one, which largely consisted of Batman sitting in the rain, growling, "Do you bleed?"
Yeah. Well, you will.
Well, you will. Over and over again.
This one had Jeremy Irons in it.
Oh, that was Jeremy Irons.
It was Jeremy Irons. He's looking a bit thin.
I was like, who is that bedraggled tomcat in human clothing?
Yeah, I assume he's Alfred Pennyworth.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes.
Yes, because he's the only English person I saw in that trailer, so that usually means Alfred Pennyworth.
I really like Jesse... Is Jesse Eisenberg? Is that his name?
Yes. So he's playing Luthor.
Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Yep. The red capes are coming.
The red capes are coming. Yeah. He seems to be having fun with the role.
Yeah, which is I think, kind of a good thing.
Well, I feel I have lots of opinions, Sean.
Yeah,
and
please,
one of them
list them.
is that it's important that the villains of a superhero movie should at least appear to be enjoying themselves.
Oh God, yes. That's the whole point that they're villains.
Because they're doing the thing they want to do, and the superhero is just trying to stop that from happening.
Yes.
So if the thing that you want to do isn't bringing you joy, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, what's that famous saying? If you can find a job that you enjoy doing, you'll be happy for the rest of your life. So if you enjoy the ultimate destruction of your enemies...
If you find a job doing something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Because that field isn't hiring, and you're fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, if the job that you enjoy doing is plotting the ultimate destruction of mankind's first defender, then yeah, you're probably going to have a good time if you're Lex Luthor.
Yeah, there's a brief shot of Wonder Woman.
No, there's a couple of shots. She's in there.
Yeah, they're brief. She's present.
No Aquaman.
There's a lot of like Batman is mad because he thinks Superman is too dangerous, and Superman doesn't seem to be mad.
I got the feeling that they're painting Wayne as in he's suffered the loss of his parents and didn't become Batman, and it's during the fight with Superman and Zod where he loses some other family. That's when he decides to become Batman.
Yeah, it's a little unclear.
Did you get that feeling?
I did. No, I don't think that's actually what's happening. I think it's just that those two moments were cut together in a way that suggested a connection that isn't present.
Okay, well, if they do that, it
would be super funny if Bruce Wayne's parents lived to adulthood and then they were in one of the buildings that got knocked over in Metropolis. Well,
no, they had the shots of the gunfire and the pearls thing.
But it would be funny if it wasn't.
Yeah, but it made me think that Bruce Wayne had lived an okay life until this point, and he was a bit troubled by his parents' death. And he'd gotten a wife and family and all that sort of stuff, and then his wife or family had died in the collapsing building?
Not sure. Either way, I still don't expect them to actually bother to come up with a good reason why they should fight. Because if that's the reason why they should fight.
If that's the reason, I'm kind of okay with that. He's just like, yeah, Superman's my ultimate goal, but at the moment I'm just beating up bad guys.
No, I think that's dumb.
Okay.
I think most of that is dumb. I also think the title is amazingly terrible.
What, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice?
Yes, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. Are you kidding me? That is the title you give to the 6th film in a franchise. That is not the one you give
the one
to
that's straight to DVD and no one knows
Also, did you know, apparently, DC are not rolling their TV shows into their cinematic continuity?
But I thought that they, specifically said in that... I mean, I haven't watched the pilot yet, but in that Supergirl trailer, they're admitting that Superman's in that universe. But they're not making a Superman show. Yeah, they admit that
Superman's in that universe, but they don't reference any specific events.
Oh.
Anyway, this is a really terrible idea because Flash and Arrow are quite good and doing well.
Yeah. Get those people to like the films.
I think Batman v Superman still looks dumb.
Yeah. I mean, we'll still go and see it.
I'll still go and see it just so I can be skeptical and enraged about it.
But speaking of, before we end this segment, I'm just gonna wrap this up. This week is the release of another superhero film, Ant-Man. And as much as I dislike Ant-Man,
what, the character Hank Pym, or this trailer?
Hank Pym. Movie? Although admittedly this isn't Hank Pym. And even though I like Paul Rudd, this film looks dumb. It honestly looks dumb.
Looks dumb. This film looks awesome.
They did another trailer, Chris, and they made it look dumb again.
Are you kidding me?
No.
They cannot win with Ant-Man. No. The first trailer made the film look like this joyless, Zack Snyder-esque look at a superhero who can shrink to the size of an ant.
Yep.
Which was terrible. The second trailer made it look like a fun comic book romp.
Yeah, and then the third trailer made it look like they took the fun comic book romp too far.
Well, you didn't show me the third trailer, so we're not talking about it.
No, that's fine, but what I was going to say is that's out this week. You and I are going to go see it before we record the next podcast. We will be talking about this next week, all right? So if you guys go and see it as well, and you have any thoughts on it, email us, and we might talk about it on the podcast as well, all right?
You could comedy bronze along at home.
Yep. But that's it for now. We'll be back in a minute, after these messages.
Chud Links breakfast sausage made from things we found. Hi, I'm Brandon Rothsbridge III, acting CEO of Chud Links Incorporated. My father's out of town this week, so I'm taking our company in bold new directions. With Chud Links cereal pouches. Ground grains and oated stoats, part of a nutritious breakfast. Or the Chud Links Colon Detonator, made from 65 pounds of chopped up animals, with limestone grits, and a double fist of limestone grits. Chud Links breakfast sausage, please don't tell my dad. Like, for serious, no one's buying our sausages, and I need to sell them. He'll see in the end that this is good for the company. Chud Links! Turkey sliders, turkey tubes, Chud Links protein hoses, Chud Links. Get a chud up ya.
And we're back. Back
from outer space.
From outer space. You just walked in to see us with these pies upon our face.
Yep, and we're taking those pies off and we're talking about comic books.
Yes, like we do. A lot.
So, apropos of my grand declaration several weeks ago that I would seek out good superhero comics and read them.
Yep.
I've been trying to read Civil War.
He has.
And I got distracted, and I went and read Batman Hush instead.
Yeah, what did you think of Hush? I read it a couple of years ago.
So, Hush is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not amazing.
Is more or less my takeaway. Well, given the general quality of Batman comics and DC superhero comics in general, I think Hush is definitely up there. It's one of the better stories.
I'll agree with that. Oh, God, pardon me. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
It's a little weird reading Hush in a trade format. I'll break it down for those of you who are not familiar with Hush.
Right.
So, not Superman. Batman has a new enemy. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't know his identity.
No, he doesn't.
And his name is Hush, although we don't find that out until the very end.
Yes. Although they did actually include Hush in the games.
Well, yeah, Hush is in lots of stuff after Batman Hush.
Yes.
There's like an entire second major arc, which I haven't read.
Oh, well, I haven't read either.
And then he becomes a recurring villain after that. Mm. And Hush's deal is that he's orchestrating a conspiracy between all of Batman's other foes to try and get him.
Yeah, get him good.
Basically. Get him good.
Yeah.
And who Hush is the basic raison d'etre of the series.
Yeah.
And so they keep doing reveals of this person is Hush, and then it turns out that they're not Hush.
I'm Spartacus.
And then this person is... Yeah, it's basically that. And so I imagine if you were reading it month to month, it would either be...
super annoying.
A lot of fun or tremendously frustrating just to have these serial non-reveals of who Hush is.
Right, tune in next week when we tell you exactly who it was. Oh, wait, no, we didn't.
But it's fairly gripping. I mean, I had my theory of who Hush was.
Right.
Which was, I assumed it was Jason Todd, because it's always Jason Todd.
It has been Jason Todd for a long time now.
Whenever a mysterious stranger shows up in Gotham and is like, I'll get you, Bruce. Why don't you remember me? It's obviously Jason Todd. Jason Todd, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Batman comics, was the worst Robin.
Yeah.
The one that was killed by a reader vote.
Yeah. Because...
And then by the Joker with a crowbar.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it the Joker with a crowbar and then he set fire to the building while he was leaving?
And probably. I mean, you want to be thorough.
Yeah.
It's Jason Todd. You don't want him coming back. Oh, wait.
Hang on. Well, look, other DC executives, we need someone to come back and annoy the shit out of Batman. Just like go over to the shelf, dust it off, see what we got there. Who have we got? Jason Todd? Who's Jason Todd? What?
No, they don't even reach into the shelf. They're like, what's this on top of the shelf where we put it last time we did this? And then didn't put it away. Oh, it's Jason Todd. Quick. Guys, I found it.
Quick, color his costume a different color. And no one will know.
Yeah, put a red hood on him.
Yeah.
Put an Arkham Knight on him. Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh, fuck it. Everyone knows it's Jason Todd.
Yeah. Anyone...
It's instantly apparent.
Well, I mean, anyone
it's always Jason Todd.
But anyone who knows the comics knows it's Jason Todd. I assume people who have only lived through the animated series and the games probably didn't know.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that Hush does, not the character, the comic Batman Hush,
right,
is in his efforts to figure out who Hush could be, Batman is forced to reminisce about everyone he's ever faced, basically.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an excuse for Jim Lee to draw all the famous scenes in Batman.
Yes.
So he draws, like, the moment his parents die and the moment that the bat swoops in through the window or whatever from year one.
Yep.
And the moment where Joker beats Jason Todd to death.
Yep.
With a crowbar.
Or as I like to call it, Batman the repunching.
Yes. I'm not sure how that applies, but I'll go with it.
Okay.
The repunching. And so that's kind of cool. But I've come to realize I don't think I like Jim Lee's artwork.
That's fair enough.
He does this thing where all the outlines are like feathered.
Yeah. Don't
and
like
it
that.
Looks like it's clearly deliberate, but it just looks like he's an indecisive linesman.
Well, it looks like he's just forgotten his eraser halfway through drawing.
It kind of does.
I mean, I know he's great, and I know lots of people love him, but I don't.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
The flashbacks in Hush are drawn in a completely different style.
Yes, that's true.
Which looks way better.
Yeah, it does.
So it's obvious Jim Lee could do better artwork. He just chooses this particular style for whatever reason.
Maybe he likes it.
Oh, maybe. Also, all his women's faces look the same.
They do, and it's super weird.
Which is worrying, because there's quite a lot of female characters in Hush, and they all look interchangeable. Yeah. You have to look for costume clues to figure out who the fuck is who.
Isn't that just someone wearing a different wig? Oh, no, it's Poison Ivy.
Yeah, well, now that one's green, so it's Poison Ivy, you can tell.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean... Yeah. But you could still just say it was just, like, Catwoman, but with a bit of makeup on.
Well, yeah, the worst one is Talia al Ghul. You're like, is that Catwoman with long hair?
It looks like Catwoman with long hair. She's got a sword now.
I think she does have a sword now. I think that might be Talia al Ghul.
Let's see. Do they have a kid? Oh, they do have a kid. All right, cool.
Is Damien in Hush?
I can't remember. It's been a couple of years.
No, I don't think he is.
All right.
I don't think he is.
That might have been pre-Damian Wayne.
So Hush is quite good. Well worth your time. I mean, there is a Batman-Catwoman romantic subplot.
Which annoyed the shit out of you.
Well, I don't say it annoyed the shit out of me. I'd say it detracted from the story as a whole.
Well, yeah.
Mainly because, and it's not because, I insist there be no romance in my superhero comics.
No, that's not it.
It's because Batman, as a character, is not interesting enough for me to care about his romantic life.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's not really the fault of whoever wrote it. Who wrote it? Was it Jeff Loeb?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's Jeff Loeb. It's not really Jeff Loeb's fault. It's just kind of the fault of, Batman being nearly 100 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And he's less a character as he is an archetype with a set of attributes slapped on him.
Yeah, I am the knight.
Like, it's very difficult to care that, for example, the concept of justice has a girlfriend or not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But he does fight Superman in Hush.
Oh, that's right, he does.
He does fight Superman in Hush.
Because Superman rocks up and...
Well, Superman is being controlled by Poison Ivy.
Yeah, doesn't he just rock up and he's just like, I'm Superman and I've got a super boner for Ivy?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's less articulate than that because he's not even talking.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
But that's kind of what happens.
I've forgotten that.
I like this fight between Superman and Batman because Batman does win.
Yep, sort of.
But only a little bit, and only with a lot of caveats.
Yeah.
So it's like he used every possible advantage, and also Superman was fighting Ivy's controller, wasn't deliberately trying to kill him.
Yeah.
If Superman and Batman got in a fight, Batman would die instantly.
Pretty much.
This is not even a point for debate.
No.
If you are arguing that Batman with preparation could beat Superman, well then you're no longer talking about if Superman and Batman got in a fight.
Yeah, it's like...
You are ladling advantages onto one character that they don't deserve.
Like, because, I mean, that argument was answered many, many years ago by comic book writers everywhere. Like, basically, if Batman has enough time, that he can beat anyone.
Well, if Batman has enough time and nothing unexpected happens, he can beat anyone.
Yeah, he could beat the moon.
He could.
Yeah. In fact,
even if a monster moon was hauled out of orbit by a pre-crisis Superman and flung at a sleeping Van Helsing would still win.
Yeah, because it's a monster.
So Hush is pretty good.
Pretty good.
My favorite part of Hush is a bit I won't spoil. Is like the last 3 or 4 pages.
Yeah.
Really made Hush for me.
Oh yeah, I remember what that is.
Those are the best bits.
Yeah, it definitely is. Go and read Hush. Yeah, what is it, like $15 at your local comic? $20?
It's $16 on Comixology.
Oh, there you go. Not that we're affiliated with Comixology.
So after Hush, I started reading Gotham City Sirens,
which I have not read.
I cannot recommend Gotham City Sirens enough.
Right? How old is it?
2009, I think.
Oh, it's only a couple of years old.
It's a little bit old. It's pre the New 52 reboot.
Righto.
It was in a brief period where good comics were allowed to exist at DC. The first 11 or 20, I'm not sure. The first, trade basically is written by Paul Dini.
Righto.
Who is the guy who was largely responsible for Batman the Animated Series. Yep. I.e. my favourite version of Batman and my favourite version of the DC Universe, full stop. Yep. And the premise is that Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy are roommates.
Ah, so I have heard about this before.
Yeah, and they're all partially not criminals at this point.
Right.
And also the Riddler is also not being a criminal at the moment, is instead working as a private detective.
Sure, why not?
It is wonderful.
Yeah. So it's not actually a Batman comic, it's just set in Batman's...
Batman is in it. Briefly, it's not even Batman. Oh, that's the other thing. Between Hush and Gotham City Sirens, there are the other 2 Hush stories.
Oh, right, okay.
Which include things like Hush ripping out Catwoman's heart and it, physically ripping out the organ that pumps her blood.
Wow, I did not know that.
And it needing to be put back in with magic.
What? What, do they get Dr. Fate in to fix it?
I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. And Bruce is temporarily dead, and Dick Grayson is being Batman.
Oh, I remember that.
And a bunch of other stuff.
Wow.
But it's just, it's a version of the DC Universe that can have levity in it.
Okay. Which is always nice.
Which is always nice. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Jim Lee, just stepping back to Hush for a moment.
Yeah.
Does very good action sequences.
Yes, he does.
He does these things where he shows the 5 seconds of a fight just in a wide shot.
Yeah.
And then he'll have outlines of the characters representing their movement.
Yep.
All the way throughout, which is nice because depicting motion in comics is one of the key challenges of the medium.
That's why I like Treadmore.
And that's a cool workaround. Yeah, Treadmore's really good at it. So Gotham City Sirens is, I don't know, Paul Dini rolling around in DC continuity going, look at all the things I can play with.
Yeah, look at all this shit that just no one has fun with.
And Riddler is great, and Harley is great, and there's a story arc about how the Joker lost his sense of humor. Because modern Joker is like this grim, cackling psychopath who just murders people.
Yeah, it's just like
and there's the origin story for how he stopped being the guy who drove around in a silly car.
Yeah. He's been like that for a while, hasn't he? Just like, yeah, we'll call him the Joker, but he's really just a serial killer who wears makeup and cackles at jokes that aren't funny.
It's kind of it, yeah. I mean, most of his jokes now are on jump scares.
Yeah.
Ha! There was a corpse all along.
I stitched extra human parts to it to make it a spider. I'm scary.
I think you're thinking of the doll maker.
Well, basically, those two are now interchangeable.
There's a bit where Riddler is trying to solve the same crime that Batman is.
Oh, okay. How does that work out for him?
And they're both squatting on a rooftop next to a gargoyle with like identical brooding facial expressions on, trying to work it out together.
Yeah, that sounds great. I need to read this immediately.
Oh, it's really, really great.
So it's called Gotham City Sirens.
Gotham City Sirens. Now, that said, the first trade is really, really great.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, this is the writer changes.
Okay, I was going to say, does Paul Dini leave?
Paul Dini leaves.
Okay.
There's a new writer for the last 2 issues of the first trade and all of the second trade.
So I should only read the first trade?
I think it's worth going on because the last 2 issues of the first trade are abysmal.
Oh.
Selena Kyle's sister. That's right, she has a sister.
Cat friend,
actually, or cat enemy. Her name is Magdalene, I think.
Oh, what is it? Dog woman?
Magdalena. What?
Dog woman? Is that...
Dog woman? No. She bludgeons a cat to death with a fire poker.
What, for any really good reason, or...?
Yeah, she believes that cats are demons and that her sister is possessed by one. And then she murders an elderly exorcist lady whose cat it was. And in the middle of her apartment, which is now like, not kidding, ankle deep in blood.
What? But cats don't have that much blood in them.
Doesn't matter.
And neither do people.
Doesn't matter. Goes to the old woman's exorcism kit.
Right.
And breaks a bottle that had an angel in it or something.
What?
And then she's possessed by an angel.
What?
And then she goes to kill Catwoman, and she takes the name Sister Zero, the Avenging Nun.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so bad.
Do you just think like it's at moments like this, like I feel like Paul Dini was sitting there like, I'm having so much fun. I feel like he's just got like figurines of Catwoman and Ivy and Harley. It's like, hi Harley, do you want to like make out for a little bit? Yeah, that'll be nice. And then the executive walks in and goes, right, we need a new character. I want someone with huge wings and prominent breasts. And
well, she's wearing a habit, so she doesn't really have prominent breasts.
But does it strain the habit? I don't care. Work it in somehow, and do that now, Paul. And Paul goes, "Fuck this," and he scrapes all the figurines off his desk into a briefcase and walks out of the room. And then they just basically grab someone's cousin and plop them down and fill their mouth with crayons, and then just smack their face into a piece of paper, and then that's the story.
I don't think you're far wrong. It did not escape me that the instant Paul Dini left, it was like, all right, murder, blood, and ridiculous nemesis.
It sounds like from the comic you began describing, it sounds like they've done a complete 180 and just...
Oh yeah, it is. It is a huge tonal shift compared to the Gotham City Sirens that was being told 5 issues ago.
It sounds like just like as soon as and it's that thing that I've noticed in all comic books. Basically, as soon as the person that you started reading this comic book because of, so whether it was the artist or whether it was the writer or whether it was both, the instant one or both of them leaves, everything that you like about that comic, everything about that comic that makes it good, that makes it that comic, no longer is a part of it. It's now something else.
In many cases, you're right. I can't think of a prominent example that has averted that.
I can't think of one.
But the thing about comics is that apart from maybe film,
right,
it's the medium that can have the most people involved in a single unit of it. And when you've got your writer, you've got your penciler, you've got your inker, you've got your colorist, you've got your letterer, you've got your miscellaneous Photoshop guy.
Yeah, you've got the guy who runs.
There's
a
lot of people involved. And look, I don't want to say that any of those jobs are less important than any other.
I will.
Although, are you going to say lettering is a minor discipline?
Look. There are some letterers who are probably really good at their jobs and really love doing their jobs. I gotta be honest though, the writer and the artist are the only ones who actually matter to me. Everyone else can.
And for me, it's when the writer leaves is usually the point where it falls over.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Me,
I agree with you 90% of the time. There is
that happened to a lot. That happened to a lot of books in the New 52. They swapped writers out after the first arc, and the story immediately fell over. I don't know if you read Robert Kirkman's Thief of Thieves.
I read the first 6 issues, which is okay.
Well, Kirkman leaves and someone else takes over writing duties.
I did not know that Kirkman left.
Yeah, Kirkman leaves. There is a very, very clear drop in quality.
I'll bet there was.
When the new writer comes in.
I'll bet there was.
But I stuck with it, and the new guy did eventually, recover the fumbled landing.
Okay.
And sort of, fix it up a bit.
Okay.
So Thief of Thieves has a bump, or a ditch rather, of quality.
Okay.
But then manages to recover.
All right.
Many comics don't. I mean, Gotham City Sirens also, after that ridiculous 2-part story, sort of goes on an upswing again. I'm going to.
But the question to ask at that point is, do they change writers again?
No, same writer.
Same writer. After so Cat Murder writer.
Cat Murder writer, yes.
He brings it on home.
Well, he brings it back up to a level where it's bearable.
Okay, so he brings it to the front door.
No, he brings it to the end of the street.
Oh, the end of the street. Okay. Does he know?
Someone else is going to have to carry it home from here.
Okay, right, all right. And speaking of carrying it home,
no, hang on, I'm not done.
Oh, okay.
I'm not done.
All right.
No, I am done. I strongly recommend Gotham City Sirens.
Well, I'm going to go read it.
And it is that and Hush. Oh, sorry. You know what? I'm not even going to say the thing I was going to say because it's a minor Hush spoiler.
Okay. Well, to wrap up, Chris...
It's actually not a minor. It's a very major Hush spoiler.
Chris didn't read any more Civil War.
No. I do have... I have a theory on Civil War, and I know why it falls apart.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that another time. Well, because I was...
Indeed we will, once I finish reading it, and I can fully justify it.
I was going to reread it too, so we'll do that, and then we'll talk about it. Maybe next week.
All right. Get on that Civil War train.
Well, yeah, all right.
And now, a segue.
Yes.
Here at Chudlink's R&D, we are truly innovating new ways to take foodstuffs into the future. We have acquired new military contracts and would like to extend this onto the global stage. Chudlinks are able to provide the military forces of the world our new and improved Flavorfoot foot soldier who, while animate, have the ability to fight in any combat situation imaginable. Upon termination of a Flavorfoot life membrane, the nutrient soldier will then be able to be consumed as bacteria within its sausagey limbs will immediately cook the flavor meat to a preserving temperature that can be set before combat. So consider us here at Chudlinks when repelling your next foreign occupation.
We're back. We're back.
Such a confident return.
Oh,
message.
Spines and Brian. We are going to talk about Pixar movies.
Okay. Specifically, we're going to talk about Inside Out, which came out recently.
It did.
Hey, Sean, what if feelings had feelings? Thanks to the internet. Moving on.
Oh, I liked it.
No, I liked it too. I'm just making fun of the reductive way everyone talks about its premise.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So, all right, you liked it. I liked it. Cool.
Yeah.
Review over.
Okay. We liked it out of 10.
Inside Out is one of those pleasant animated films where you spent the first hour trying to figure out who the actor for the main character was before realizing it was Amy Poehler and going, "Oh, that's nice."
Yes.
Sean, what were your views on the film?
Well, I knew it was Amy Poehler before I went in, so I didn't have to do that. Look, it's a film about growing up. It's a film about realizing that not everything has to be just one way. It can be many things, feelings-wise. It is about life as an emotional journey.
Yeah,
Life is a
it's also
highway, and I'm going to ride it all night long.
Oh God! It was also about
my way.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
thanks. It's not like my ears are damaged or anything.
I'm sorry.
You horrible shit.
Oh, uncalled for. Anyway,
it's also about coping with moving house.
Yeah.
With upheavals and stuff in your young life.
Yes.
Your young hockey playing life.
Yes.
I dug it. I really dug it.
I really dug it too.
I dug it so much I don't even want to talk about it. Because I don't want to reduce or affect anyone else's possible enjoyment of the film.
Just go and see it.
Just go and see it. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
And like it's got that emotional complexity that all the good Pixar films, all the good Disney and Pixar films have.
This is what we actually wanted to talk about.
It's got that little moment of truth and goodness.
Like a grain of reality that
which
the
is
fiction
nice,
is spun around.
But on the subject of Pixar, there we go. 3 minutes. That's our Inside Out review. It's good. You should all go see it.
It's definitely good. Go and see it.
Bring up Pixar's list of theatrical releases, because I think we're gonna notice some interesting thing about Pixar's recent attempts.
Excuse me while I click clack.
Yeah.
Alright, Pixar at Wikipedia.
I guess I should talk to fill this dead air, even though I'm just going to cut all this out.
What, even me, like, humming?
I might leave that in.
Okay, fair enough.
No, hurry up. This shouldn't be taking you this long. You should already be there.
List of Pixar... Do you want the shorts as well?
Nope, just the theatrical... Oh, that's the other thing. Inside Out has the worst short.
Oh, you didn't like the short?
Oh my god, that short is appalling.
How is it appalling?
It's not appalling. It is incredibly heavy-handed and on the nose compared to their usual efforts.
Right.
To the point where, well, it has words in it, basically.
Okay, so your problem was
also,
that they spoke.
That was part of my problem. The other problem was that...
So is it necessarily it being bad, or is it just about...
I found it a little bit difficult to care about the emotional voyage of a volcanic island.
Okay. So is it...
More importantly... No, shut up.
Oh, okay.
More importantly, volcanoes do not work that way.
Right. Okay. Well, first off...
The core of the story is about two volcanoes that bob up and bob down and turn 180 degrees in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
Which is not a thing that could be accomplished by any kind of geologic action that I'm aware of.
Wow, okay. So I find it interesting that you're choosing that rather than the fact that they're singing volcanoes.
Well, I also didn't like that, but that is the point. It would be like if two houses fell in love and they were on opposite sides of town, and then they just teleported closer or further away.
Well, it would have made more sense. It would have made more sense if they were across the street from each other.
It would have. It would have.
That would have been a much better analogy.
No. What would have made sense if they were originally on two streets that were separated by a park?
Yep.
And then the park was like built over.
Right.
So then they were separated.
Okay.
And then the Great Fire of Boston came and burnt down all those buildings. And they could see each other again, and they're like making doe eyes at each other through the inferno.
Okay. Are you sure it's not just about the fact that you didn't like it as opposed to it being bad?
I'm not alone in not liking it.
Okay.
It lacks all of the subtlety and nuance that those shorts typically have.
Yeah, no,
It might just be because it's a Pixar one rather than a Disney one.
Fair enough.
Because Disney has been knocking it out of the park with their last few cinematic shorts.
Okay.
Like Feast and Paperman and the one with the umbrellas.
Oh, yeah. But we're not talking about the shorts. Even though you're wrong.
Well,
and it was good.
but now I'm done.
Even though you're wrong and it was good.
No, you're wrong.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. We're going to talk about the films. So, working backwards from Inside Out. Monsters University. Brave.
Monsters University.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's just tackle them one at a time and talk about how they're not as good.
Okay.
Monsters University is not as good as Monsters, Inc.
Fair enough. Is that, by what metric?
By what metric?
Yeah.
It's not as good.
Okay. How do you measure that?
My enjoyment of it?
Okay, so
Did you think it was as good? Why are you demanding rigor in opinion of art?
I'm not. Just usually you have a reason.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a reason.
Okay.
Monsters University is about Sully's anxiety over whether or not he will be a good scarer.
Yes.
We've seen Monsters, Inc. We know he's a good scarer. We know he's the best scarer. There's no tension in the story. Now, I'm not going to say it's a bad film. I did enjoy it.
I did too. We went and saw it together.
And I really like the bit at the end where it goes through, Mike and Sully's working their way up from the mailroom in Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
That was really good. It had a lot of nice little moments, but it's not as good as the original.
Okay, fair enough.
And probably, honestly, didn't really need to be made.
Well, of course it didn't need to be made, but, just like Finding Dory doesn't need to be made. But they're making it.
But Finding Dory, at least, explores an unanswered question that was in the original film.
Don't care. Didn't like Finding
Where
Nemo.
did Dory come from?
Don't care. Didn't like Finding Nemo. There, I said it. You're all wrong. It's not that great.
Okay.
It might have been just because, there was a half a year level of guys I went to school with who just kept saying, mine, 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 for 8 months.
I'm sure that would have made it hard to enjoy Finding Nemo.
Yeah, especially since I saw it like a year after everyone else.
Unlike you, I'm not a hipster, so I don't allow my enjoyment of art to be tainted by what kind of other people like it.
What? Okay, Chris, I'm going to remember that, and the next time you want to read a thing or watch a thing, I'm just going to annoy you about it for a year before you see it. Then we'll see how you enjoy it.
I'll just see it before a year is up. There, I've thwarted your plan.
No, I'll make it impossible.
So prior to Monsters University, what do we have?
Brave. Have you had a chance to change your fate, would you?
Yeah, Brave is a very confused film.
It is a confused film. I enjoyed it.
It doesn't have that moment of emotional truth.
Had that moment of emotional bear.
It did have a bear. It had more bear than you've got room for.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't put a bear in my house. I don't have a house. It's like 3 rooms.
Yes, Brave looked like it was going to be one type of film, then it was a different type of film.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a worse type of film, but I don't think it was as well made.
Yeah.
A type of film.
I liked it. Like that's the thing. Every single one of the Pixar films I've liked, I've just liked them either more or less than others.
Yeah, kind of. But I think there's definitely a sort of an A and a B tier of Pixar work.
Yeah.
For example, cars, planes, and everything related to them is very firmly in the B or B minus tier.
Well, I've never seen any of the Cars films, but Cars 2 was out before Brave.
Yeah, Cars 2. I didn't see it because I hate sequels that have a number in them.
But the year before...
Oh my god, I've realised that I hate sequels that have a number in them.
The year before that, there was Toy Story 3 that you went and saw, and...
Oh wait, no, I went and saw that with no problems.
Yeah.
Well, okay. This great truth I just realised about myself turned out to be false.
Because I was going to say, that's a lie. You cried when I cried in Toy Story 3. I was there.
Toy Story 3 is the crying film.
Yes, well, it's one of them.
Part 18.
Yeah, it's that, and then also Up, also the crying film at the beginning.
Yes, well now we're back into the good part of Pixar.
So there was only, really, hang on, let's see here. 1, 2... It was really just, a year and 2 years. 2 years.
When did Brave come out?
2012. Monsters U was 2013.
Feels so long ago.
And Cars was 2011.
I think it was especially noticeable because Disney's output at that juncture was a lot better.
Well, that was when we had Tangled, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Tangled
whips the pants off Braid, I would say.
I mean, Brave.
Did I say Braid? Shit.
Yeah, it doesn't whip the pants off that game.
I'm thinking about Jonathan Blow games when I should be thinking about Pixar films.
Yes. Yeah, so then it was Toy Story 3 and Up and WALL-E. So those were back...
All of which are great.
Those were all back-to-back. 2010, 2009, 2008. Ratatouille, which I haven't seen.
Ratatouille is very good.
Okay.
It's got Patton Oswalt in it somewhere.
Okay. The year before that was Cars.
I saw Cars. I didn't like it.
Fair enough. I haven't seen it because I didn't care about talking cars.
But Owen Wilson, Sean.
I don't care about Owen Wilson.
He's Hollywood's perennial also-ran.
2 years before that was The Incredibles.
Incredibles, aka the best Pixar film.
Well, maybe it will be up until The Incredibles 2 comes out.
Come on, Brad Bird, don't fuck this up for us.
Yeah. And then Finding Nemo in 2003, Monsters, Inc. in 2001, Toy Story 2 in 99, Bugs Life in 98, and Toy Story in 95.
And now we have done all of them in a list.
Yep. But the newest one, which is coming out in November this year, is called The Good Dinosaur.
Wait, they're doing 2 Pixar films in a year?
Yes.
What?
I will give you the breakdown for the plot. In an alternate timeline where Earth
not all the dinosaurs die.
was never hit by an asteroid and dinosaurs never became extinct. This is for people who may not have heard of it yet, Chris. A young Apatosaurus named Arlo loses his father in a tragic accident. Can someone say reverse Finding Nemo? One day, Arlo falls into a river and gets knocked out by a rock, finding himself far away from his home. Oh wait, no, it is Finding Nemo. While trying to find a way back to Clawed Tooth Mountains, he befriends a human cave boy that he names Spot. Now it's Homeward Bound.
There are no spots in Homeward Bound. How dare you? Chance, Sassy, and Shadow. Spot. Get out of here with that wick-ass shit.
Well, let's all just agree to disagree. Well, actually, no, let's agree that Homeward Bound is a less good Milo and Otis.
No, I think when you consider it, you'll see that Homeward Bound is actually a much better Milo and Otis.
No, there's not that bit.
Not only because it failed to murder dozens of cats.
I was going to say, but what about that bit where they killed all those cats?
But also because it has, some kind of a plot other than let's throw these animals at other animals and see what happens.
They murdered a bunch of cats. So The Good Dinosaur is out at the end of the year, and then Finding Dory next year, and then Toy Story 4 in 2017.
Okay, Toy Story 4 is where I begin to lose patience.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 pretty firmly wrapped that up.
Yeah, it really, really did. And Toy Story 4 is being written by Rashida Jones, and I'm not sure who he is.
Written by Rashida Jones.
Yep. Screenplay, Rashida Jones, Will McCormack.
Isn't she an actor?
Yes, she is.
Isn't she in that legal thing? The Closer? No, not The Closer.
No, she's in Parks and Recreation, and she plays Anne in Parks and Rec.
I'm thinking of someone very different.
You are thinking of someone very different. But Rashida Jones, what else has she been in? She's also written some other stuff.
Oh, okay.
She has been published in Teen Vogue magazine.
Well.
And she worked there as a contributing editor, and she wrote Chapter 36 of her father's biography, Q, the autobiography of Quincy Jones. Hello?
I just wanted to see how long I can let that pause go.
She's also had film roles in Our Idiot Brother, The Social Network. She was in The Office. She was in Boston Public. The Social Network, she was in that. I Love You, Mans.
You already said that. All right, okay, you can stop.
Celeste and Jesse Forever.
You can stop.
For which she wrote the screenplay.
Also, Juno. Let's talk about Juno.
I liked Juno.
I didn't see Juno.
You should see Juno. It's nice.
Did she get an abortion in the end?
I am not telling you that.
Just tell me.
No.
It's literally the only reason to watch Juno.
She doesn't. She doesn't.
Does she keep the baby or does she give it away for adoption?
No. I'm not telling you anymore.
Just tell me. I don't care. Okay, I'm never going to watch Juno.
All right. Okay, I'm telling you, the baby is actually Jesse Eisenberg, and he steps right into his role. Juno actually becomes the first half of The Social Network.
Get out.
He comes out with a full head of hair and like 2 extra sets of teeth. And he just chomps his way over to The Social Network.
He's just a particularly horrifying kind of bezoar.
Yeah, he eats his own umbilical cord. He slaps himself on the ass to get himself crying. It's very odd. Clearly,
I forget what we were originally talking about, something to do with Pixar films.
Finding Dory and Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
I mean, John Lasseter is involved in this one again because he was like the big guy over at Pixar for a long time.
Yeah. Pixar for a while were the people you went to for good animated movies.
Yeah.
And then Disney started making them again.
Yes.
And I feel like in many ways Disney has outstripped Pixar in recent years.
But then you get the occasional odd curveball from the other studios, like DreamWorks and How to Train Your Dragon.
That's true. How to Train Your Dragon is very slow. Although, I mean, DreamWorks toiled for years on C-list Drek before they managed to make some good films.
And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
That's not made by DreamWorks.
No, it's by Sony Animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the other studios that occasionally come in.
I mean, I accept that traditional 2D animated cinematic films are basically gone and appear to be gone forever.
I will miss them.
And I do miss them. Although I have hope that Disney's Paperman tech might one day lead to stuff that looks like traditionally animated, but isn't.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
Like if there was a way for them to do it on the cheap. I assume it.
It's on the cheap.
It comes down to cost.
Yeah, it comes down to money. It costs way too much to pay in-betweeners, basically.
Yeah.
It's why 2D animation is so expensive.
We could talk about the in-betweeners.
I haven't seen the in-betweeners. I don't care about the in-betweeners.
You've seen some of the show, haven't you?
In fact, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've seen like one episode. And every time someone brings up the in-betweeners, I resolve not to watch any of the in-betweeners.
Oh, okay. Do you put the balls in?
You can do.
If they like.
How crude. Where is the sophisticated entertainment I demand?
Yeah, shut up, briefcase wanker.
You've made that joke before. You're repeating yourself, Sean.
Oh, no. I've become tried and predictable.
Yep.
Go and see
Speaking of tried and predictable, we're about out of time.
Yeah, we are. Go and see Inside Out. It's good. You should go and see it.
Join us next week where we rant about Ant-Man or rant about Ant-Man.
We will. We'll either... Look, knowing us, we're either really going to love it or really going to hate it.
We'll rant or we'll rave. Those are the two words I was looking for.
Yeah, there you go. Rant or rave. Yeah, Chris will put on some really shiny pants. I'll get a bag of lollipops. We'll go to town. On each other. No, we won't. We're not doing that.
Oh.
We're not doing that.
How did I go so wrong?
The Chris Noon story. Also, can be the name of your sex tape.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Comedy Bronze. But if you were offended by Sean's flagrant racism, or if you just have a question you want to ask us, why don't you send an email to thirdplacejoke@gmail.com. That's kind of a crap way to end. Stay frasty.